Okay. I actually do have more invitations, but not with me. So you can share an invitation if you want to. You can join us tomorrow at the JCP party at the Infusion Lounge. It's at 6:30. We'll be there till about 9. Yes. So you don't want to miss it.
No, you don't.
And we've got a few beers. Yeah, we've got a few beers over here where Martine is, if you'd like to help yourself. And if you are JCP members, we have badge ribbons up here as well that you can come and collect. You got spec lead, member, EG member, and EC member, if you haven't picked that up yet. Anything else? So wait till Bruno comes up here. Well, I was going to wait till he came up. Or you want to sit down there?
Do I have to come up?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, we could be anywhere.
Oh, okay. Well, they can't hear you.
Oh, you're recording. Okay.
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 So let me test this here.
Hello. Oh, that works.
Okay.
My title's not showing. Oh, there we go. 101 Ways to Improve Java. Why Developer Participation Matters. Want to introduce yourself? Because I actually have your ways starting off. So we've got 3 of us here as speakers.
Okay.
Bruno, you want to introduce yourself?
So I'm Bruno Souza. I'm one of the founders of So Java. That's the Brazilian Java User Society. And we're part of the JCP for a long time, but we recently have joined the JCP Executive Committee, and I'm the representative of So Java inside the JCP.
Hello, I'm Martijn Verberg. I represent the London Java community for this talk, and we're trying to help kickstart some global programs to get developers involved in Java standards and Java itself.
Okay, and I'm Heather Van Kira, and I work in the JCP Program office. So we thought we'd just start this off real quickly with actually 101 ways, and then we'll open it up for some broader discussions. We'll just kind of quickly run through these ways, and I will post them on the JCP blog. And
yeah, so our plan is that we have 101 ways here, and we're going to describe each one in very little detail. It's going to take about 10 minutes for each one, so it's about 1,000 minutes.
10 minutes for 101 ways.
Right.
So we'll do 3 minutes per. So we'll start out with ways. We broke it up 3 sections, ways to participate in your Java user group, and Bruno's going to.
Oh, so let's start with me. Okay. So there's some user group guys here, right? Who are the user group guys? So John is here. Who else? There are other. So yeah, some user group guys, and Martin is here. So Java user groups. I always like to say that Java user groups are the real Java community, right? That's where you come to meet other developers. You come to meet other Java people. So I really think you should get together and find your Java user group. See if there's a user group in your area. John here leads the Java.net Java user groups community, where you can find a list of almost 500 user groups all over the world. So I'm sure there's one that you can identify with. And if there's not, you can always create your own user group. Right? And there's a lot of little ways that you can help. Just by showing up in the meetings, just by participating, you make your user group stronger. So, for example, when me and Martin, we come to the JCP meetings, we're not ourselves, right? We are representing everyone that comes to our meetings, everyone that comes to our discussions, everyone that participates. So by the simple fact that you participate in a user group, you're already making your user group stronger, you're making your community stronger, you're helping us out in actually coming and fighting with the big guys for the things that you think are important. Right? But also, user groups have a lot of little needs that you can help out with very, very little effort. So, for example, if you tweet your meeting or information about your user group, if you share it on Facebook, if you do a like on the user group page, it just helps more people to be aware there is a user group in our area, and the more people that will join in and participate, and that helps everyone, right? But also. You can give a talk, a user group, or you can find someone. If you don't want to give a talk, but maybe you know someone from your company that is a good speaker, or someone that or you have a contact with someone. You came here to Java 1, you got a good contact with a speaker. You could introduce this speaker or this person to your user group to bring them there and help you help teach more people about that important technology or something like this. If you're working on a company, even a small or large company, you can help out by sponsoring the user group. And when you talk about sponsoring the user group, a lot of people say, oh yeah, but no, we don't have a lot of money. But you sponsor a few beers, and that's already sponsorship, right? You pay for, yeah, exactly. So you have some beers here, and that's already good, right? User groups, we get, you buy 10 pizzas for a meeting, and you already feed everyone that comes for the meeting, and that's already a sponsorship, right? So there's a lot of little ways that a company can do, and that actually brings some good things for your company, because the name's going to be. So for example, I have a Java User Group T-shirt here, and there's lots of companies in the back, right? And this T-shirt is from a few years ago, and your company still shows up everywhere that we go, right? So sometimes for little effort, little money, you can help a lot. Other things here, organize activities, join a mailing list, right? Who thought you could improve Java by joining a mailing list? Yes, it's true. You join a mailing list, you make your groups stronger, you can answer things from time to time, you start to get involved, and that helps us, all of us, to do more things, right? Answer questions. Oh, one thing it's nice to do. You don't have a lot of time, and I know everyone doesn't have time for anything in those days, but sometimes you can volunteer for one activity, right? One small thing that you can do, and you have a couple of hours a day, a couple of hours on 1 week. There's going to be an event that you want to participate, and instead of you paying your way into an event, maybe you just want to go there and volunteer to help. And that frees up the time of some other people that are doing other things to actually do more, right? So, if you can volunteer to one activity in your user group, that's already a great thing to do. Come early to an event and help carry the piano, right? A lot of us, a lot of events that we do, they're completely free, so developers don't pay anything. Sponsors are only paying for the pizza. Everything else is a guy like John or Martin or Ben or so many other user group leaders. They're, right? So all kinds of user group leaders everywhere. If you come come earlier and you help packing things, you help put the tables in the right place, you help those things, and it makes life for all of us a lot easier and makes more enjoyable. So help out a little bit, tiny little things makes a big difference. What else? Yeah, okay, so one interesting thing is a lot of people say, a lot of people come to us and say, I don't know what you need, right? Well, we, at least in Java, we have every Monday, right, at 9 o'clock at night, we have an organization meeting over Skype, right? We learned that if you just come to the meeting and hear what's going on, you're going to find things that you want to help out. So just participating on the mailing list of the organization, of the user group, or just coming to the organization meetings, you're not going to learn anything. There's not going to be any technical discussion. We're discussing how to organize the user group, but you're going to learn things a way that you can help out. Write a blog, take a picture. Oh, come on, can I help improve Java by taking a picture? Yes. You come here, I'm here giving a talk, Martin's here giving a talk. If you come here, take a picture of this talk, and you publish this picture, then, the user group gets stronger, it gets more attention, and then we can come back to the JCP and say, hey, we're strong guys, we need to change things, right? So even the small things matter a lot. Another interesting thing, you travel here to Java 1, right? You either from another city or you're out of job, out of your job today to come here. Some of us travel from far away, from different countries. I bet not every single colleague from you in your company were able to do the same, right? I bet not everyone from your user group was able to be here with you. So when you get back, do a session about the best thing you saw at Java 1. Right? Present what you saw, present the talk that you heard, right? Spread these ideas to others. I think that's an easy thing to do that helps. What else? Other things is maybe should be teaching people about Java, right? So that's a good way to help. How am I doing time? Good? Okay, all right. So 5 more minutes. Okay, so another way to help improving Java, the more developers that we have that are proficient with Java technology, the better, right? In our levels. So present a tutorial. a lot of people tell me, oh, but I don't know enough. How can I give a talk? How can I give a tutorial? And the truth is, think about it. If you spend a week, right, you know nothing about a technology. You spend a week learning this technology on and off and everything. By the end of the week, you're able to run a sample application. You are able to know, you know where the documentation is. You know how to write a hello world on that particular technology. If you can do a talk about this 1 week of work, you're already helping a lot of people that don't have a week to learn that stuff. Right? And you make this in 1 hour talk, and you're helping a lot of people that can't invest that amount of time. Right? So, you're always able to give a talk. So I think you should do it more. You can come and give a talk on things that you heard here. And you already jump into the next step. Come on, get back. There's a couple of things I want to say on that one. All right. There's a cool things here. I mentioned a few projects, Greenfoot, Alice, and Blue Jay. Those are great education projects, right? You can teach kids how to program in Java with those. You can teach people in university how to program in Java with those. So learn how they work. You're Java developers. Those tools are very simple for you. Learn how they work. Get to a teacher, a school teacher or a university professor, and teach them how they can use those tools to teach kids and university students how to develop Java better. It's very easy for you, and it's probably not very easy for the teachers, right? What else? Write blogs, learn a new Java API and present your coworkers, right? That's probably going to improve the way your company works, also, right? And also improve Java developers overall. What else? Okay, and then help out in an open source project. I know there's a lot of very big open source projects that are like the main Java project, like OpenJDK, Glassfish, and other things like that. But there's a lot of other open source projects out there on Java. One of the most important things for Java is the huge ecosystem that we have. It's not only a small set of technology, but it's a huge ecosystem of open source projects that does everything. So just choose something you like and come help out. Write a documentation, improve the project a little bit, write a bug report, participate on the project a little bit, and then you improve the Java ecosystem. And the more open source projects that are out there, there's more interesting things that you can take a look at and standardize and bring back to the Java platform. So the more Java code is out there, the better, and you can participate in each one of these. Okay, thanks. That's it. Thank you.
I'll post the list too. So
right. Yes. Okay.
Get the list.
That's
switch over to ways to adopt the JSR.
That's a tough act to follow. I don't have a cape. I have a beer because I'm from London.
Sorry.
Another Londoner at the back, clearly. So yeah, who here has used some sort of Java standard API? Maybe the servlet specification, or maybe JAX-RS, or actually here's a good one. JSF. Who here has had to code JSF? Keep your hand up if you liked it. Ooh, one at the back. There's always one. All right. So one of the things that oh, sorry, John, I missed you there. One of the things we found in London when we sit around a pub and it's always cold and dark and rainy and miserable and it makes us all very cynical and sad is that we get together and we complain about APIs in Java. And we sit there and we say the WTF phrase. And more of us get together and more of us write attack blogs and tell people like the Sun and Oracle folks that they've just gone and gotten everything completely wrong. And then after a couple of years we were told, well, instead of complaining, why don't you actually help us make it better? So we decided, okay, we'll give this a go. And one of the things that standards in Java and Java the language itself has always really missed is the day-to-day input of day-to-day Java developers. Because at the end of the day, you guys and you ladies are the end users of all these specifications that come out. You're the end users of Java the language, you're the end users of JEE, Java ME, etc. So we started a program called Adopt JSR, which is adopting Java specifications. And this is not to adopt them after they've been done and dusted. Right? This is to adopt them as they are forming. So to give the sort of feedback and the sort of testing feedback and implementation feedback which will actually make these standards relevant to you. It's actually kind of a selfish thing to do, right? But by this little bit of feedback that you can give early, and by also helping even build some of these specifications, you're impacting up to 9, 10 million other developers out there, and goodness knows how many users, right? So it's kind of your little chance to make a big, big difference in the world. And it might seem silly, but I quite happily say this at kind of some social gatherings I go to. So when people ask me, what is it you do? Oh, you're a computer geek. And I say, actually, no. What I do is I impact the lives of millions and millions of people. And it's really kind of important. So some of the things we've been doing is the Adopt OpenJDK program there, so you can pick off that URL. And we do all sorts of things. We help people who are trying to run these specifications. We try and take away some of the low-hanging fruit away from them, right? We want people like Brian Gertz, who you saw at the keynote the other day, working on lambdas and to make those really, really good. We don't want them moderating the mailing list, right? And this is the sort of thing you can help out with. Clearly, you're developers, most of you here, and you want to code, you want to hack. That's why we all get together in Java user groups especially. So we do things like get together, write test cases for specifications, write test cases for Java itself, which is really fun, by the way, because it's kind of difficult. We even help actually write some of the implementations. So we've got James Goff over there who's been helping write the implementation for JSR 3.10, which is the new date and time APIs coming in for Java 8, right? And Jim himself would admit, a few months ago that he's not any sort of world expert in date and time, and he's learnt as he's gone along. And he is, a perfect example of a Java user group member who's absolutely impacting an API that all of us here will be using in a year's time. It's fantastic. A whole bunch of stuff you can do. As Bruno mentioned before, you can evangelize away a simple tweet, a simple like on a Facebook, all useful stuff. Yep, go to the next one. The very top one is actually the one that we found to be the most important in London. By giving a simple 5-minute talk to a group of 100 people can actually make a huge, huge difference for a specification. Because out of that 100 people, 5 people will come up to you afterwards and ask questions. You take those 5 people and you organize a 2-hour workshop to hack on some code. Everybody talks about it because hacking on code with your friends is fun. It's certainly better than converting Java to XML and XML back to Java again, because that's frickin' boring, I can tell you. Did that for 3 years. Paid well, but terrible. And that in turn goes out globally, and you get groups in Brazil doing it, groups in Latvia doing it, groups in the USA doing it. Okay, and all of a sudden you've got a large group of people helping the specification nice and early. No more evil JSF, hopefully. Oh, I got booze there from John. He loves JSF. There's just for you. If you are one of these curiously strange people, if you're on the BOF downstairs before, if you love Latin or legal language, then there's actually a great, great need to turn some of the licensing and legal areas of Java standardization and Java EE standardization into English that developers can understand, or other languages that developers can understand. So Bruno, for example, is running a Portuguese mailing list for all the Brazilian developers about these sorts of aspects. Right? So that's a really important communication aspect. Yep, go on to the next one. We also talk about adopting OpenJDK itself. So how many people here know what OpenJDK is? So about half the room. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, OpenJDK is the reference implementation for Java, the language, and platform itself. Okay, and what could be cooler than actually working on the language and the platform that we use day to day, right? So actually literally help Java itself by working on the Java code base. Most people think, oh, I need a PhD in computer science to work on the OpenJDK. I do not have a PhD in computer science, and I'll tell you what, my colleagues that work for me in my company will probably try and drag me away if I ever try and write any code. Yet I still contribute. With small things like JavaC warning fixes, Javadoc fixes, right? Turning an old piece of code that hasn't had generics applied to it. These are all very simple things that you can do within Java itself to make it, more performant, safer to use, and again, it's low-hanging fruit that you're taking away from people who you want to be concentrating on more difficult areas like the hotspot, like the new lambdas features, etc. There's a whole bunch of stuff you can do. You can see the list up there. One of the interesting things we're trying to explore is we understand that not everybody can join a Java user group. So we're really hoping that people will hold brown bag sessions at lunchtimes in their corporations, in the office. Grab 2 of your work colleagues and actually look at the Java source code itself. It's actually quite simple to read. Start working on some patches and submitting them back to Java. And of course, be selfish. Put it on your CV. And that way, if you are converting XML to Java and Java back to XML again, you can leave that crappy job and you can actually go sign up and work for Oracle because they're hiring right now, for example. Or you can go work for an organization who actually cares about deep tech and get excited again. And last few things, a whole bunch of stuff you can do. Again, actually testing the OpenJDK early is of vital importance to everyone, right? Every tiny bug fix, every tiny bug that you report, every time you run across a method that you didn't quite understand or you felt wasn't nice to use, if you report that back now, that'll get resolved, and again, you've impacted the lives of millions of developers. And last but not least, because I come from London and we drink way too much beer, always make it fun, always hold a party while you're doing it.
Okay. Thanks, Martijn. So I've got another one, yeah. All right, so move on now to ways to participate in the JCP program, the last 33 ways. Who knows what the JCP is? Most people in the room. That's good. That's a good start. So we'll start out with the participation, just visiting the website, following us on Twitter, Facebook, our blog. Our blog is where we'll post this list. You can also register for the JCP site. Has anyone registered for jcp.org? Yeah, no? A few of you, so you can go there and register. One of the things you can do when you register is create a watch list, so you can follow the JSRs that you're interested in. Since we move in then to one of the first ways you can participate and influence the JCP is by reviewing and commenting on the JSRs that are in progress. So you can create a watch list there, the JSRs that you're interested in, and every time you log into jcp.org, you'll see the JSRs that you're interested in, and there you can download the latest draft and provide feedback to the spec leads. Also, if you're more interested in taking the next step to get involved, JCP 2.8 JSRs, which are some of the newer JSRs as well as some of the in-progress JSRs that have updated themselves to JCP 2.8, which is the latest version of the JCP, requires transparency in how spec leads run their expert groups. So we're looking for people who are willing to help us monitor what those spec leads are doing, check out their mailing lists, check out their projects on java.net or GitHub or wherever they're hosting themselves. They have links on their JSR detail page, which is where you find the information about each JSR on jcp.org. You'll find links there to their projects. So take a look at the projects that you're interested in, see how they're doing there. Are they making their work transparent? Is it easy to download the drafts? Is it working? Are there broken links? You can let the spec lead know as well as the PMO. You can reach the PMO at pmo@jcp.org. Let us know if those links are broken, and we can follow up with the spec lead to make sure those are fixed. If you're looking at taking it any further, you can join the projects on java.net. So create a login on java.net and join the projects of the JSRs that you're interested in if they're hosting themselves there. You can also become a JCP member. So once you've registered for jcp.org, you can become a member. Members can serve on expert groups. So you can nominate yourself to serve on an expert group of a JSR once it's been submitted and approved by the executive committee. You can nominate yourself, and the spec lead will approve your nomination or not. If they don't approve your nomination, if a JCP 2.8 spec needs to supply a reason why they wouldn't approve your nomination. You can serve on an expert group. It is a bigger time commitment, so I've kind of listed here, more progressive time commitments. That's heavy-duty time commitment to serve on an expert group, but most of the JSRs now you can follow and see most everything that's going on in their projects that they host on java.net. Did you want to say something, Ed? Which one? Oh, so we've got What is it? You were going to talk about this one.
I'll just yell it out.
All right.
Microphone.
Microphone, here we go. Okay, so another way to contribute is the short, simple, concise, and I can't even, okay, sscce.org, right? It helps you write good bug reports, so yeah. Yeah, exactly. So providing good, concise, short code examples as to what exactly is going on is incredibly helpful to spec leads like these people down here. So there you go. That's a shout out to that organization.
Okay, that's great. We still have some beers over there if people are interested. I don't have a hat or a cape, but Harold here has some giveaways. You have some little JCP things if people want to walk around a little bit. I do have a few more ways, but I definitely want to leave time for questions. So. Okay, what else? All right, submit. Oh, serve on an expert group. Yes, you can also submit bug reports. Good shout out for how to do that. Now, submit a JSR proposal and become a spec lead. Very big commitment there, but that's a possibility for any JCP member. You can submit a JSR for approval by the executive committee. And even if you're not a spec lead, you can attend spec lead calls that the program office manages. We put those on and record them. If you're interested in finding out more about what it's like to be a spec lead, we host them on topics of interest to the community. So you can either suggest a topic to the PMO@jcp.org, or attend one of those. We also post those recordings on our multimedia page of jcp.org. When I post this list, I'll put a URL for where to find those. Okay, now we're moving on from spec leads. So you can join, you can become an expert, you can become a spec lead. You could also serve in the executive committee if you're really interested in looking at influencing the way the organization is governed. We actually revise the JCP program through the JSR process, and the executive committee serves the role of the expert group in that case. We have annual elections. Right now we have our nomination period open. So there are 2 open seats for the executive committee. Any JCP member can nominate themselves to be in the election this year. It's happening in October, and the seats will become effective in November. This year it's a 1-year term, and everyone will be running again in 2013 for an executive committee seat. Since we are merging the executive committee, 2 executive committees into one, effective November 2012. So I have 1 executive committee, and you can also follow the executive committee project on java.net. I'll also include a URL for that when I post this list, but executive committee has a project on java.net. They also have a project there called jcp.next, and you can follow the progress there. jcp.next has had a series of 3 JSRs. We had JSR 348, which was JCP 2.8, finalized, now effective, the latest version. We had JSR 355, which was the JSR to merge the 2 ECs into one. And right now, just approved by the EC recently, is JSR 358, which is the 3rd JSR, and that will take a look at some of the more complex issues around revising the agreement to join the JCP, which is called the JSPA. You can also suggest agenda items for the EC. Every year now with JCP 2.8, there are open executive committee meetings, which are open to the Java community, not just to members, but anyone in the Java community can join these teleconferences. We hold them 2 times a year. So you can suggest agenda items for those. We're always looking for items that you're interested in hearing about. We're also open to participating in your local Java user group or meetup. If you'd like to hear from the JCP or want help in getting spec leads to participate, we can assist you with that. This can also attend things at Java 1. This last slide has some things that are going on here at Java 1 this week. We had our EC meeting yesterday. We also have annual awards. This is our 10th annual JCP Awards, so those nominations are open to the public. We've got our nominations posted for this year now. Next year, get your nominations ready and submit those. We'll announce the winners tomorrow night at the annual JCP party. Find out who won the 10th annual awards. We'll have that at the Infusion Lounge, and those are the invitations that Bruno passed out. We actually have a few more invitations. But if you didn't get an invitation here and you want one, you can find it at jcp.org. Click on Java 1 events, and you can find there all the details of the party. It's tomorrow night in Fusion Lounge at 6:30. And we have our last BOF also tomorrow, which is meet the candidates for this year's election. So come and ask your favorite questions of the executive committee, what they're planning on doing if reelected or elected this year. And we also encourage you to do just what Bruno suggested, blog about your experiences, what you think about what's happening in JCP, write articles on JSRs or events you've attended, take pictures. And that concludes, that's the last way. 101, exactly.
100. Well, I think it was a little bit more because I sent you more and you put all.
I know, I consolidated them because it had to fit with the title. That's
okay,
why
so
in the JCP we follow the rules.
So we had more than 100 ways of you helping out with Java. And one of them is coming to the party tomorrow. If anyone didn't get the invitation, I have some extra invitations here, right? But, as Heather said, you can only see online.
Do we have any questions?
Yeah, we have 15 minutes left, so we wanted to leave time for questions. We wanted to run through our ways, but get questions or feedback.
So while you guys are thinking about your questions, there's one other way you can help out with improving Java is writing your Java story. We're trying to collect stories about your story of Java, not only the official story, but why Java is important for you. So I'll pass around some notes here where you can write the story. Right? So I'll pass this. Okay. And why you think about your questions. I'll just do this on here. Yes. Just pass around, please.
Jim.
Just pass around. Okay, good. Oh.
That's a very good question. So certainly, so the JCP and the PMO, Project Management Office for the JCP, Oracle, and the Java user groups and other vendors as well. They're all working together on these adoption programs to try and get developers, again, mainly, to get involved in Java standards. We had a user group BOF on it yesterday. We'll have another one tomorrow as well, I believe. And I think we're going to try and do things like push webinars through parlays.com to try and get access, try and get the material out to more people, get workshops, get practical material out to people through those kind of e-learning platforms. So I think that's going to be a focus for next year, definitely.
Okay, and I wanted to say, too, that next year, for the annual awards, we are going to be introducing a new category, which will be for Adopt a JSR. So we'll have a new category for the participants of Adopt a JSR.
Cool. Is there any participant of the Adopt JSR here? Yeah, there's a few. Cool. Thanks, guys, for coming.
And I think there's a session right after this, correct? Yeah. Where's that? Same room. You can go out and rescan yourself and come back in to learn more about your experience with JSR 310 and Adopt a JSR. Any other comments, questions, suggestions?
I'll only say one thing, and it's okay, I'll pretty use my. It is probably the first time in my 15 years involved with Java that you have had access and the ability to actually influence Java and the entire ecosystem itself. So please, please, please do not waste this opportunity. Okay? If there's only one thing you do when you leave this room, and that's to tell your friends about what's been going on here, and to tell them that the standards body is listening and they're actively inviting participation, as is Oracle and the other large vendors, please, please do that. It really is a fantastic opportunity. You don't get this in the .NET platform. You don't get this in other language communities, so let's use it.
Thank you. One thing I also wanted to mention again is Java user groups. If your Java user group hasn't joined the JCP yet, Java user groups can join the JCP as an organization, and we'll waive the fee. So, and I want to remind you again, we have badge ribbons. So if your user group's a member, you can pick up a JCP member badge ribbon.
Yeah, one of the things that we have to understand is that Java is a technology where we can participate. Right? There's a lot of technologies out there that you're just a user, you just develop on top of it, and Java is actually a technology where you can participate, as Martin said, from the whole thing. Right? You can participate from the inception of a standard all the way to the creation of the final products. And there's a lot of space for innovation around the Java ecosystem. So I think we are in a wonderful ecosystem, a wonderful position. And the fact that we are here at Java 1, I think we all understand this. And what we're trying to show you here is that when we talk about participation, it's not really get a commitment 8 hours a day for a month that you can make a difference. You can actually make a difference with a lot less, with smaller steps. So just take a look at some of the ideas and implement some of them in your time, and you're going to see how much of a difference you can make.
Okay. Anybody else? Oh.
No problem. All right, so everyone else, if you're not a member of a user group, search for one. If there's not a user group around your area, join 2-3 people and create a user group, right? There's a lot of ways that we can help. Contact me, contact John. We can help out in creation of user groups, but there are a lot of user groups around the world. So search for one in your area and support it. Yeah, start a JUG. We have in São Paulo we have 5 Java user groups, right, in the same city. So yeah, you can start a user group. It's you and a couple of friends. You can start a user group. Just you don't need to wait for someone else to decide to talk about interesting things. Or if you want to do something lighter, is just go to the local user group, even if they don't talk about the interesting things you want to talk about. Go there and you propose a different talk. So steer the discussion to a place where you like that should be, right? But
other resources on the Java user group has a Java.net project too. So.
Right. Yeah. If you go to Java.net, there's a tab Java user groups, and over there's some resources on how to create a user group. There's John's email is there, my email is there.
Every Java user group starts with 2 people.
Right.
And in London now we've got about 2,500. We started with 3 people about 2.5, 3 years ago.
Right.
Starts with 2 people. That's it.
Yeah.
Goes from there.
Yeah. So Java is over 40,000 members today, and we start just with a bunch. Yeah.
Some perspective. So 2,000, 40,000, 30. All right. Well, folks that are actually signed up for around 300, but we only have typically about 30 consistently come to the team. Again, it's not really how big you are. It's the fact that you're actually getting together and sharing that technology and sharing a microphone.
I love you, man.
It's being recorded.
Oh, it's being recorded.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Wow. That's going to be an epic fail. Anyway, so if you want to participate, it's all about you learning, your learning and you taking responsibility, for where you want to go in Java. And if other folks come along, they can enjoy the ride as well, or they can actually take an active role. It's not necessarily all about getting speakers. I mean, some of the things that we were talking about earlier today was how to make it easier for user groups around the world to actually share speakers or share talks. And for example, where I'm located, I'm in Greenville, South Carolina. I've got Atlanta on one side and I've got Charlotte on the other. Folks will go to those areas. There are folks that are going to travel to those areas. They're not necessarily going to come to Greenville. So one of the things we were talking about is how do we get folks to either come to where I'm at, or how do we get the folks that are at another user group, how do we tap into their resources? So if somebody's presenting in London, is it a convenient time that we can actually say, okay, we're going to set up our user group meeting at the same time and share that speaker? So it's open.
Okay, excellent. Questions? No questions? Okay, question here.
I think I just asked that about the Spring user group that you have in your area. When we started out with the London Java community, that was pretty much the only technical community around Java technologies in London. But since we started up, things like the Starling user group, Clojure user group, all those people come from the London Java user group. That was where these things started. So I think if you went along to your Spring user group and actually said, hey, I'm looking to start a Java user group, most of the people there would be interested. It would be a really good start for you.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Like t-shirts.
Yeah, the Java user group in Brazil started with some guys that were the Corba user group. It's many years ago, as you can think about. Okay, what else? How much time do you still have?
Oh yeah, I think we have about 2 more minutes. So
2 more
maybe
minutes, one more
question.
One last question? No questions? Okay, guys. So?
All right, thanks for coming.
Thank everyone. Thank you.